Throughout the past 18 years of PKing, the meta has changed constantly. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the difference between the ARM set all the way back in 2007 and then the current modern day setups with the Perilous Moon setups. Also, I'm going to be using a couple other setups along the way, like the Crystal Bofa setup. I was pleasantly surprised by the effectiveness of the older PKing setups, and I really think you guys will enjoy seeing me pay homage to some of the old setups and work my way all the way up to the current max set. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'm going to get right into it. Alright, this is the first setup we are in, 2007 setup. It's only about a 20 mil wrist, not bad. Alright, so we're going to PK at the only spot that I think was out in 2007 along the original release. We're going to PK at the agility. Obviously, you can get a little bit more money now with the agility, but yeah, everything's going to be different since the game's so different. We're going to try to, as the game progresses, PK in the certain spots that may have been more active at those times too, to make the game a little bit more interesting as well. Alright, so we are making it out here in the original 2007 set, the set that would be available upon the release of RuneScape, and this set honestly isn't too bad. It's pretty low risk with it only being 17 mil. It does have some good DPS potential. The one thing I think it is lacking on though, and the biggest thing that I think it could be way better on, is specking. Only having the Gmaul for a spec isn't super good because the accuracy on a higher level account really isn't that great, and DDS doesn't really make up the difference for it too much. The upgrades you have to get is actually not too bad. I don't even know how much the price is on it, but I do need to get an Amulet of the Damned. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it's so cheap. I can basically get it for free. And with this, ARM staff actually becomes the best in slot over the Master Wand, so we'll switch over to this. So these are the biggest upgrades of the 2004 style, or the 2014, I think, is the time frame that I'm doing it in. So let me just get the last thing that we need to get. There's just one more item, Odium Ward. Oh, I can't even afford it yet. Crazy. I'm actually going to have to, I'll sell the Master Wand, I guess, since I don't need it anymore. We'll upgrade to that. So that's nice. Grab the upgrade. I didn't know this cost so much. Weird. FS is just gonna get confusing, so I'm gonna bank that actually, even though it's nice, but actually we'll keep the Dragon Defender or the DFS either. So I would definitely say that some of the best upgrades that we'll have in the later on time periods would probably be the AGS. That's going to be a huge upgrade for us, you know, a little bit down the path. So something to look forward to, and a couple of these kills along the way will help with that for sure. I would say this would be the first actual fight. This person ended up being in Crystal Bow and Bofa, which is actually a pretty strong set, but we do end up getting the upper hand on him and taking him out for a little bit, and the loot was actually a little bit more than I could expect. Not too bad at all. We'll definitely take it. I think I maybe smited him or something. I'm not too sure. So these two big items, because honestly, this ward is not really worth bringing anyways. I wouldn't even consider it best in slot, but we do have enough to finally get a good weapon. So we are going into the 2015 era. This is when God Wars came out, so we can start scooping up some God War items. Yeah, this is our set right now. Pretty decent. I don't think Dragon Crossbow came out yet, so we have to wait a little bit longer to upgrade the crossbow because we cannot afford the Armadillo crossbow yet. We're just going to upgrade as we go. This set is going to be hard to upgrade, the 2015 set, because Serp Helm. Let's see, what else could we get? I'm pretty sure we can get a Toxic Staff of the Dead as well, and then we'll probably switch that back out for a Fury. And I actually think, oh yeah, in the 2015 eras, I can start to not be a noob and use a God Cape. So let me grab a God Cape. Let me actually, hooray, looks like the total risk for this set is only 17 mils, so it is a pretty cheap, effective set, especially the AGS Jamal can kill anyone, so we'll see how we fare with it. Now that we finally unlocked the AGS, look at some of the KO potential with this. In this setup, even back in all the way in the 2014 and the 2015 era, you were still able to hit an incredibly high number. The AGS Gmaul, I think at this point, could still hit over 150 damage. I'm sorry, 115 damage, but yeah, it's just crazy what the AGS can hit alone. I think it's the max hit is somewhere between like 75 and 77. I know later on when the gear progresses a bit, it goes all the way up to 88. So a little something to look forward to later when we are doing some PKing. So right here, you are able to see that we just got two pretty decent kills. This is starting to stack up our loot a little bit. The second kill actually was unskulled, and I still managed to get a good amount off him, over 6 mil, which is kind of crazy. Some of these people are risking a fair bit, so we're going to sell all the loot that we get off, and then we're going to instantly upgrade. So we needed a couple more kills to finally unlock the Serpalm. I feel like PKing up here at the agility course is incredibly good. There is so much good loot up here, and you see all sorts of different things from people running laps to the PvPers. The one thing that you do want to watch out though is people that are anti-ing you there. So we are able to finally unlock the Serpalm. This is an incredibly strong, overpowered item that allows me to no longer have to bring anti-venom, which is really good when fighting maxers, and it also gives me a max hit or two on the AGS, bringing me up to around 80 damage with the AGS. So we were getting pretty strong here, and we were able to take out some pretty big PKers. So we're going to go and hop over at Rev Cave to see if we can find a little bit more loot and switch it up. And this was about the time period that Rev Caves became a little bit more prominent in the game. So it's definitely an area that has been active since its release. I know when it did release, it was multi, so it's a little bit different. But nowadays it's just single combat, and you can pretty much go in any risk and get an easy freeze escape if you do end up fighting a maxer. So this is a little PSA you want to watch out for in the Rev Cave. Something that you definitely want to watch out for is people that are anti-rushing. And right here, I wasn't expecting this guy to spellbook swap and use a Venge on me, matched that with a Karasi, and I ended up actually going down for the first set of the video. We ended up re-gearing and switching back over, getting right back up into the agility area. What we're going to do if we die, I'm just going to kind of leave it at the gear that we are currently at. Otherwise, this video would take way too long. Rebuilding the gear slowly is just crazy, especially when we die to stupid stuff like this, like an anti-rusher. At agility, of course, we end up finding somebody in some actual risk for once, so we were able to get a little bit of a fight versus him. Thankfully, I do have some upgraded gear at this point, so the ACB is very strong, and we are able to take him out for a solid amount of loot. Honestly, not too bad, especially for agility area. There's not usually too much people risking max out here. So the loot is kind of like what I was in originally when we were PKing in a lesser set. It's actually only like a 5 or 6 mil set, so not a super big loot, but we'll definitely take it. It's better than nothing. Oh yeah, watch me AGS this kid out as he comes through. Oh my god, that stack was crazy. You see all that pop up together? Oh my gosh. Probably not for much. Oh, 1 miller, we'll take it. So fortunately, we are able to run into another person that is risking a little bit of loot. This person is not risking the same set as the last person, but they are actually a little bit better. So I get a little bit better of a fight versus them, and they have some decent skill, but we are able to take them down. We end up killing them with a nice AGS. Something that I really appreciate in the series, the AGS coming out in 2015. It's definitely made the series a lot easier and allows us to get some better upgrades like this upgrade right here that we're getting. So the next upgrade that we are brought into is a upgrade that is incredibly strong for both range defense and also incredibly strong for both range offense. So this is an upgrade that's also great for mage defense, but it is the full Armadillo. The full Armadillo is going to be something that's really going to save our ass through the video with some freezes. So we end up getting a fight versus somebody back up at the agility course. This person wouldn't skull versus me, so we ended up just jumping on them anyways. Then we made our way over to Rev Caves, and something super interesting happened. I was just hopping around, and I had no idea the big streamer Dino was streaming. He ended up hopping on me, and I wasn't really in a good gear set to fight him, so I ended up going for the freeze log right at the start of the fight. And of course, as soon as I start going for the freeze log, I run the corner and I DC. I ended up DCing to Dino and sending him in the clip, and thankfully he was nice enough to refund me the whole set, so I felt a little bad because he was streaming and usually gives away a lot of the loot that he PKs on stream, so I actually ended up giving him my ACB, and he did a little giveaway for chat. But yeah, all in all, unfortunate that we ran into him and then disconnected. Hopefully next time we won't when we fight him. So it turns out that the Armadillo is actually more expensive than Crystal these days, which is kind of freaking crazy. So we ended up just selling most of the set off and buying a full Crystal set. The only thing that was really expensive was the bow, but we've been PKing a lot throughout the video, so we were able to scoop up that bow real quick. And the Bofa set is probably the most high DPS set in game. It is incredibly strong. There are some sets later on in the video that I'll show you that are a little better for KO potential, but I think as of right now, this might be the best set for pure DPS, and especially if you match it with some of the newer upgrades that'll come on later on in the video, like the Hallie and also the Voidwaker. It's incredibly strong with both those, but for now, we definitely can do some damage with this thing with just the typical AGS Bofa set. And honestly, it's not that much of a risk at all anymore. It's only like 67 mil, which is nothing compared to what it used to be. So we end up getting one more kill here, and then I wanted to switch it up in PK at some other spots around Mage Bank. And another person that you do see a lot of times around Mage Bank is a person named Makun. He does a lot of luring on both hardcores and also just trying to kill people that are killing his Slayer bots that he puts up there. There's a bunch of weird stuff that he does, but every time I find him, I instantly go to kill him because he's total dog shit. So I pretty much can take him out anytime, and he is in a set. Look at this crazy combo, the Gmaul into the AGS. I'm absolutely clean with it. Let's see what we got. 31, damn, he's getting poor. He's getting real poor. So after that kill, I was able to get another upgrade with a little upgrade in the boots and a couple other small things. Nothing too noticeable here, but just some stuff that'll help with the overall DPS. After this, we decided to do some team PKing, something that was very prevalent in the time when the Bofa set was around, and you can still do it on World 319. My team fell into a person that was risking, and we end up getting a pretty good kill on him. He was risking a little bit more than I expected, and I did split up some of the loot with my team, but yeah, it's fun to get these team kills and to have the PKing vibe in this atmosphere. Alright, let's see. Voidwaker. So we decided to switch it back up and just do some regular revs. I didn't want to team PK too much in the video. I just wanted to show off one clip of doing it because it's honestly pretty fun to team PK at revs. But at revs, you do see a lot of people that are risking a fair bit, and it's because that the amount of drops that they get from the PVM monsters, especially if the people are sculling up. There are some people that skull up at the rev caves, and they do risk a fair bit, and sometimes you can combo them out with the rev bosses, and look at how unlucky this guy gets. He honestly gets so unlucky with this combo. I honestly feel bad. There's not much he could have done, especially with the Voidwaker coming out at the end. There's really not much you can do to survive, and it is a pretty big kill. It's actually a little bit over 5 mils, so we will definitely take that. Not too bad at all. So we end up fighting a few more people before we go over to our last max set of the video. We are going to switch over to a more KO strength setup. It's definitely a little bit different. We are going to sell the whole Bofa setup, and it's definitely something that people would not expect to be the best set in 2025, but I think for both the cost and how efficient it is at KOing people, I really do believe that it may be one of the best sets in 2025, and that is going to be the Eclipse Atlatl set. I'm also going to pair these up with the new Avernic threads. These are the insane hybrid boots that are honestly probably the best in slot forever in old school RuneScape. I cannot imagine them making a stronger boot than this because it combines all the 3 strongest boots into the game and makes it into an incredibly strong hybrid boot that I think is going to be the new meta moving forward in 2025 on. I cannot believe Jagex released something so strong, and they keep power creeping the game so much that I can only imagine what the game's going to be like in 2035. You're probably going to be able to hit 100s instantly on everyone, and PKing will be way too easy. So hopefully they bring the bar back a little bit and they don't add too many more max hits onto the game, because at this point it is starting to get a little bit crazy. To show off this power of the set, I'm just going to start off with the DDS because it is just so incredibly strong. You don't even need a good spec weapon, and even at the worst spec weapon that we have in the whole video is able to take out some of these people. It is just so insane. And then actually we're going to upgrade to the Abyssal Dagger right after this as well. So there's all sorts of weird loot that you can find in the wilderness, and some of this weird loot will be people doing Slayer. This person was in an Infernal Cape with Mystics, so I really don't know what they were doing. So I was testing out this new Atlatl set, and I was using the Abyssal Dagger. This person was anti-PKing at Revenant, so I decided to hop on him, and you could not believe how high of a hit I got on this. I ended up hitting 40-40, which is the max hit you can get on a on the Abyssal Dagger in this setup, which is crazy. I've never got such good RNG. Only got him for 3 mil though, unfortunately. Couldn't get it on a max setter. So we ended up getting a few more kills with the Abyssal Dagger. I really think the Abyssal Dagger is quite strong, especially after you guys see it hits a 40-40. That's so strong. 80 damage on a weapon like that when it's not in BH is just incredibly powerful. But we do switch up and we go back to the classic AGS, and I'm going to be AGS PKing for a little bit longer to test out to see how good this is when you can Eclipse Atlatl stack into an AGS all on the same tick. and you're able to get some crazy combos with this. So for the last final kills here, we use the AGS combo with the Atlatl, and I really do like this combo because if you stand 3 tiles away or slide in from a couple tiles further, you are able to stack the Atlatl with the AGS on the same hit, especially if you're on pit. It does make a big difference with that. And then unfortunately we do run into some more lag, and we fight this guy, and you are not going to believe what happens. It is just so unfortunate. I cannot believe I died to lag again this video. Oh my god, there's no way I just died to that. And I ate too. Oh my god. I ate and it just didn't go off. What the fuck am I doing? So, I'm going to save this final part for a part 2 of this video, but we're rebuilding. We're starting with only the threads. This is how far we made it up so far. We did a little bit of PKing, but I'll show that all in the next video. So if you guys want me to release that, if this video gets like 500 likes or something, that'd be pretty sweet, and I'll release another video on this series and get all the way back up to the max set again.